and we'll get started. All right, so we're recording tonight. This is the fifth call for RAMP, this group of RAMP. And so you guys are almost done, right? You're almost there. I mean, we've got about 10 or 12 more days of assignments, I believe. Next week, we're not going to have I'm not going to be on a meeting with you. What I encourage you guys to do is meet with Danielle, and Danielle can either train you on something or go through your weeks. I'm going to leave it to her. You guys are in great hands next week with her, okay? I personally can't be here because I'm going to be in Santa Monica filming new training on the 5 steps for the company that's going to be coming out and being in the CTA. So all of the stuff that you guys are getting in our RAMP groups, the network does not have. They have the 5 steps, but they don't have this 5 steps with the bridges and how to schedule the appointment and the follow-ups and all that stuff, right? And they don't have the praise, disarm, and ask, you know, all of the things that we teach you guys with the 5 steps here that we know is really awesome stuff. So we're going to go out there. I'm going to go out there. We're going to video a new training. What that means for you is your coaches can get that 5-step training as soon as you want them to. Does that make sense? They don't have to wait until they get into a RAMP. There's going to be a professional video made that's edited, and there's going to be role playing on it. So there's going to be like a breakdown of the 5 steps, and then there's going to be a role play video where I role play it with like Carl Deichler or somebody. I don't know, somebody from corporate. So all that role play is going to be done. So that those tools are going to be created. They'll be out at Super Saturday after Summit. All right. But because of that, I've got to go out there and spend time with the company. Danielle's going to have you guys next week, and we'll make sure that Nicola gets her the deal as far as, you know, how to host this or whatever. But you guys can meet with Danielle. Danielle, I will leave it up to you if you want to cover a topic that you think these guys need to know, whether it's social media or something, or if you just want to go through their weeks. You're going to be the leader next week. So, and I'm not going to stress about it. All right. So, which is good. So, but with that said, we actually have 2 more calls. So it's a 6-week program. There's 7 total calls. Okay. This is the 5th one. You got your one next week with Danielle, and then we're going to do a wrap-up call 2 weeks from now, which is going to be the end of the program. So you guys are like almost there. You got 10 more assignments. You got 2 more calls after tonight. Tonight we're going to cover a couple of topics. So we're going to have less of you guys talking about your weeks and more just training and role playing and showing you what to do with brand new people and stuff like that. And then the final week we're going to have something special that we do. So with that said, I've got 2 topics that I want to cover tonight. Okay. And we're going to spend the first half of the call. I'm going to try to spend about 20 minutes on this, and then we're going to spend the rest of the call on the next topic. But both of these things, I mean, I think are important. They're important enough for me to take a whole call and cover with you guys, because I think just like niching or just like learning the 5 steps and how to get coaching in front of people, I think these 2 things are vital. In fact, I probably said, or you've heard me say at some point, that there's 2 things you really need to get good at. The first one is interviewing, right? Promoting and interviewing and 5-stepping people, how to prospect and interview and all that stuff. And the second thing is storytelling. So it's one thing for me to say, hey, you'll be a good storyteller. It's another thing for me to teach you and give you a specific formula and a game plan on crafting stories that have impact on people. Okay? Stories are what motivate and inspire everybody. Think about movies. Think about songs, right? How many of you have watched a movie and you've gotten emotional? How many of you hear a song and it gets you excited, right? And the reason is, it's because in those movies and those songs, they're all about a story. And it's because you relate to that story. There's something in that storyline that your heart connects with. Your heart and your mind and your history allow you to make an emotional connection with those stories. And so when you think about the best companies in the world that have the best brands in the world, it's all about the story. When you think about the Beachbody programs, you know, when you look at the P90X commercial that I was in, there was over 180 before and after pictures alone in that 30 minutes. And there were 8 2-minute testimonials in those 30 minutes. Okay. So when you look at any of the infomercials the company puts together, 2/3 of it, 80% of it is stories and testimonials. It's not products and information. It's the words of people, their emotions, how they felt, where they started and where they got to, that inspires people to pick up the phone and say yes. And so we need to take, you know, a piece of that script and make it our own. Does that make sense? And so learning to tell effective stories is something that you're going to want to learn and do it all the time. I'll give you some examples of how I use stories, okay? And then I'm going to show you how I do them. I use stories to promote. I'm better off sharing a story than I am sharing a product. Always, okay? Products don't inspire people. Stories do. It's the stories that they relate to. A lot of people might look at our products and go, there's no way in hell I can do them, until you share a story of somebody just like them that did it. Does that make sense? So I use it to promote. I use stories to overcome objections. When people have objections, right? They give me an objection. I use a story that trumps their objection. A bigger story. Someone started at a worse point than them. Someone started with more kids than them. Someone, right? And say, listen, my story is bigger than your excuse. I'm going to trump your excuse, okay? I use stories every time I talk to coaches. Because I can identify where they're at, and I can always think of a story, whether it's my own or somebody else's. I can think of a story that they can relate to of somebody that kept going in their situation and found success, right? So I use stories to inspire coaches. I use stories to paint a vision for coaches, for challengers, for people. So being a great storyteller is something that you want to learn and do and master and do all the time with everybody you speak with, okay? But there's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it, okay? There's the human nature way of sharing a story, which is to go on and on and on and on and share way too many details of the story that don't matter, that doesn't hit them in the heart, and that makes them lose interest, okay? How many of you have ever, like, you get in a conversation with someone and they start telling you their story? And for about the first 30 seconds, you're really interested, right? The first 30 seconds you're interested, you're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And then they keep going. And then you're like, oh my gosh, okay, that's awesome. And then they keep going. And you're like, okay, that's good. And then they keep going. And you're like, oh my God, when are they going to shut up? I really don't give a shit about their uncle's cousin's brother who just lost his foot. And, you know, like they lose you. There's a moment where it gets too long and they lose you. Have you guys ever felt like that with somebody when they're talking, right? Maybe you feel like that with me every Monday night and every ramp call. I don't know. But the truth is we can lose people when we share way too much and the story becomes too long, all right? And so what we want to do is get really good at crafting what we call your 20-second story. So write that down, 20-second story. You've got about 20 to 30 seconds of time to bam and powerfully connect with somebody. 20 to 30 seconds and about 4 bullet points. Okay? And the way that we do this is to share the before and the after. Okay? Before Beachbody and after Beachbody. Who were you before? Time, energy, thoughts, emotions, right? And you want to show the struggle of the before person. And then you want to show the after and how Beachbody helped you improve in those areas. But you want to do it in a way that cuts out all the who cares stuff. They don't need to know a whole long friggin' history and get a dissertation on the program, okay? What they want to know is the bullet points. Who were you before? What were you struggling with? And things that people can commonly connect with, okay? Commonly connect with. And then who did you become after? What did Beachbody do for you? What did the program do for you? What did being a coach do for you? You want to show the result and have it be a positive result, and you want to give Beachbody or the program or coaching the credit. Does that make sense? So the middle, and then at the end of it, you want a call to action, which is, hey, if you can relate to this, or you or somebody you know can relate and you're looking to get started, I'm more than happy to help you. All you have to do is message me, okay? So the first thing is mastering how to share your 20-second story. So you got to create it. Once you learn how to create a 20-second story, you can do this with everything around you. All the stories that you get from your challengers, all the stories of the coaches, all the stories that you're going to use in the long run to inspire people, okay? You want to do them all in the same way, with this 20-second story formula. So let me give you my 20-second story. Well, let me tell you this real quick. So when I first lost my weight with P90X, right? I lost 120 pounds, and it was such an emotional experience that when somebody asked me about my weight loss and how I did it, I would go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. I didn't realize that what I was doing was actually pushing people away. I wondered why they never wanted to do it, because what I shared with them seemed like way too much. And it's not that they weren't interested in the program, it's that they lost interest in my story because I told them way too much. Does that make sense? So they might be interested in the program, but how you share a story can either make them more interested or can push them away and make them less interested. So I'm going to show you the 20-second story of my story with P90X, and I'm going to show you the other story, and I'm going to show you how to do it both ways. And I want you to think, how does that make me feel? Pretend like you're the listener, which you are, and how does that make me feel? So here's my 20-second story. I'm going to share with you some bullet points that I think people can relate to. All right. So, man, before doing P90X and Shakeology, I had spent about 20 years being completely depressed and morbidly obese, like just fat as hell, completely addicted to food, depressed, sitting on my couch, with no hope on ever being able to lose the weight that I had gained. Had no idea how I was going to do it, or even if I was. And then I found P90X. And since finding P90X, I lost over 100 pounds. I won $50,000 in the Beachbody Challenge. And I feel better than ever. I feel better than I have in 20 years. I'm actually excited to wake up every single day now. And I can finally see my feet, which is a great thing. So listen, I don't know if you're somebody who was like me, that was hopeless on feeling like you could never lose the weight and that you didn't have a plan. But what I know is this, that we do have a plan. I know that it works personally, and I'd be more than happy to get you started. All you need to do is send me a message, and I'd be happy to help you. Right? That's my 20-second story. But I hit the bullet points. I was depressed. I was sitting on the couch feeling hopeless, right? I was over fat and under hopeful, basically. There's a lot of people that can relate to that. And then the after picture is a completely different life, right? Does that make sense? And then there's the call to action at the end. Let me show you the bad Tommy story. Oh, man, yeah, let me tell you about P90X, dude. You know what? I've been fat ever since I was 12 years old. In fact, when I was 12 years old, my stepfather had abused my family and molested my sister, and so I got really pissed off, and my mom ended up leaving me. We lived homeless when I was 11 years old, and so I got really angry, and so I would eat out of anger, and I would eat, and that's when I started developing these eating habits and getting food addiction and doing all of that stuff, and I carried that on all the way through college. In fact, when I got to college, they had that all-you-could-eat buffet, and I would go to the buffet every single day with the all-you-can-eat, and I would eat all I could 2 or 3 times a day, and I gained 70 pounds. And got up to 280, 290 pounds when I was in college. And then after college, I would try stuff and I would yo-yo. I would lose 20 pounds and gain 20 pounds back. And I did that a handful of times. And then it was I was 32 years old, probably. I think, I was 32, and it was 2007. And I believe it was a Tuesday night. I think on a Tuesday night, my friend Ian gave me a call. And it was a Tuesday night. In fact, it was a Tuesday night. He had watched this commercial on this P90X stuff, and his son, who's 12 years old, was like, Dad, you should get that, and you should get Tommy to do it because Tommy's fat, and maybe he would want to lose weight. So, shut up, right?
Shut up!
Shut up! I don't care. All of that, but listen, all of that is part of my story. All of that is important to me. But to the listener, they don't give a shit. Right? They don't. That's just how it is. You got 30 seconds to make an impact. What can you say in that 30 seconds before and after that hits them in the heart and makes them go, oh, that's interesting? What can they relate to? They don't need all the specific details. They don't need to know that the first month you could barely do a push-up. You see what I'm saying? But you want to share. So there's the 2 ways to do it. And listen, a lot of coaches will go on and on and on because they don't know any better, and they haven't learned this very simple skill of giving a friggin' 20-second story before and after. I'm telling you right now, it's powerful if you just learn to do that and you hit them in the heart and you do it, okay? Let me give you my coaching 20-second story. Okay, so my 20-second story, before coaching and after coaching. Man, before becoming a Beachbody coach, I was completely miserable at my job. In fact, I dreaded waking up in the morning and going to work. Not only that, but I was always stressed out with money. I had zero money in the bank, and my credit cards were always maxed out. I had no idea how I was going to pay my mortgage or put gas in my car. In fact, but since becoming a Beachbody coach, everything has changed. I'm blown away at how happy and fulfilled I am and the kind of people that I get to work with on a daily basis that keep me motivated. Not only that, but I've been able to pay off all of my credit card debt and been able to save at least $200,000 in the last couple of years with money that I've made working from home. So listen, I don't know if you're someone like me that hates your job and is maxed out with credit cards. If you are and you're looking to get started on something, this may or may not be for you. I don't know, but we could at least talk. Why don't you just send me a message? 20-second story, right? Now, here's what's important for you guys to understand is this. The world does not, Tommy's story on the coaching side doesn't relate to a lot of people out there. It does in the beginning, but the after seems way too big. Okay, the power is where you guys are at right now in the first month, the first 3 months. Okay, the fact that you've earned enough money to make a car payment, the fact that you see what I'm saying? Those are the things that the real world relates to. Okay, it's the same on the fitness side. I got to tell you that when my after picture came out, my transformation was done, people were like, there's no way in hell I can do that. That looks way too hard. The power is actually in the first month. When someone says they're 20 days in and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm only 3 weeks in and I feel this good. Thank you for getting me started. That's a powerful testimonial. That's a powerful story. I'm 20 days in and I feel great. Thank you for getting me started. Somebody says that in a challenge group, that's a hook. You want to take that hook and you want to cast it out on your Facebook. Does that make sense? Because that's the story that makes impact. It's the same on the coaching side, okay? Which is, listen, I'm looking to gather some stories of brand new coaches. I had a guy, Nate Gagne. He came in and in his first month signed up 17 people and made $1,200. He's 21 years old. He doesn't do much coaching anymore, but I still use his story. Right? He's now a chef and he got busy with the chefship, but I still use the story. And I tell people, hey man, I don't know. I had a 21-year-old kid that made $1,200 in his first month. Maybe you're as good as him, maybe not. I guess we could find out. Right? I share his story, his first month testimonial. Okay? So your stories are actually more powerful than mine. Wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you just ordered your fitness video, right? If for someone that just ordered a fitness video and it's on the way, they haven't even put it in, they haven't pushed play. But for them to say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I ordered this program and I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to lose this weight. The fact that they have hope and they actually took action and placed an order, that story is powerful. Because there's nobody out there, everybody out there is in the same boat that that person was just in, making a choice to say yes or no. That story will get them to say yes faster than mine. Faster than me saying I lost 120 pounds and had an 8-pack of abs and became the poster boy for P90X. Because listen, that doesn't happen to the average person. The average person looks at that and goes, well, yeah, that's great for him, but that'll never happen for me. But hey, look at Joe. Joe lost 10 pounds in his first 30 days. You know, Sherry did the 21-day fix, and she lost 11 pounds in 21 days after 20 years of being 100 pounds overweight. She's finally on her way to feeling better in just 3 weeks. That's powerful. That relates. What you want to do is get good at your 20-second story and then get good at gathering stories of challengers and coaches around you and using the same method, the bullet points. You know, when my friend Sherry first came to me, she wasn't sure if she could actually do one of these programs. And now she's a month in and she's so happy that she started. Here's why, right? See what I'm saying? Those are the 20-second stories. Those are what you want to share on your Facebook page. You don't just want to blast the product. Hey, you know, the T25 pack is on sale. That's great, but that doesn't inspire them, right? That doesn't, unless they've been inspired previously and the only thing holding them back was the money. That's not going to inspire the people that haven't heard anything yet. So what you want to do is say, you know what, my friend Joe was hesitant to get started on T25. He finally said yes. And in 25 minutes a day, after 45 days, he finally had to go buy a new belt. And maybe you show the picture of the new belt that he bought, right? You see what I'm saying? I don't know what the story is, but there's stories every day that are posted. There's comments every day that are posted. We also want to get good at sharing our stories internally within the team. And this is something that we need to get better at in Swarm and in our teams, is sharing the positive side of what's going on. Listen, I don't care if you made $180 in your first 2 months and that helped you pay your friggin' water bill, right? That's a powerful story, okay? Whatever that story is. How has coaching helped you, man? Share that in the team pages. Talk about that. Share your 20-second story. Maybe it's that you've never made, you know what, I've been a coach for 6 months and I haven't made Success Club in 5 months, and all of a sudden I'm at 8 points. I can't be more excited. Thankfully, I went through ramp. And maybe you have a 20-second ramp story that you share with people that helps other people get into ramp. You see what I'm saying? Okay? But at the end of the day, and then I share stories to trump objections. So when I do the objection handling training at Summit, this is part of what we're going to talk about, is using stories as trump cards, right? People have objections. They come to you and they have an objection. And typically it's, I don't have the money. Well, listen, I'm going to take a story of someone who had zero money and figured a way out on how to get it and then succeeded with it. All I know is so-and-so didn't have any money either. That's why they started for $39.95 as a coach. And after the first 3 months, they were making $500 a month. Bam, story, trump. Get them over their excuse with a story, right? I don't think I have the time. I'm busy. I got a full-time job and a couple kids. I really want to do it, but I'm really don't think I have the time. Hey, listen, I can understand that. A lot of people are super busy, and I know you are too. But like I got Tina Osborne, and Tina Osborne, she had a full-time job working 12 hours as a nurse and also had 5 kids at home. And she didn't think she had the time either, but she found a way to get 5 to 10 hours a week and focus it on Beachbody. And here she is 2 years later making a couple grand a month. She's making enough money now that instead of working 12 hours a day, she was able to cut back to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and have a normal life where she's home with her kids more. So I don't know if you want to be working all this overtime like you currently are, or if you want a way out of that so you can have more time with your kids. If so, I can show you how to get that done, and we can get you started today. Does that sound good to you? See what I'm saying? But I use a story that trumps their excuse. That's objection handling. Stories. I don't know. All I know is so-and-so, blank, 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 blank. Let's say that I'm talking to a guy. I have a guy that has 80 pounds to lose, and I show him P90X3. And he comes back, and I just did this, actually. I just did this last month. And this guy's like, well, you know what? Like, I want to lose this. I got about 80, 90 pounds to lose, but that looks really hard. I don't think I could do it. And I said, look, man, I can understand that. But the truth is, I got this buddy, Richard Neal, who started when he was 426 pounds. And he started with P90X, and he couldn't do it at first either, but he kept going. And after 18 months, he lost 222 pounds and ended up winning $100,000. Okay? So, listen, if Richard can do it when he was 200 pounds overweight, don't you think you could do it only being 80 pounds overweight? Question. What's he going to do? Say no? The guy was 200 pounds overweight and did it. You're 80. Shut up. Shut your excuse up. Say yes. Let's get your ass moving. Right? Which is what I want to. I don't say that to him directly, but I say it with a story. I use a story that is bigger than his so that he has no choice. What's he going to do? I mean, literally, what's he going to do? Well, yeah, but that was Richard Neal. And maybe I'll send him the video. Hey, listen, I'll even send you Richard's video. Here, check this out. And I'll use Richard's story to inspire this guy to get over his excuse. So listen, it doesn't matter. I don't have a weight loss. I get a lot of people, I don't have a weight loss story. I really don't give a shit. There's 18,000 million other people that do. Use theirs. Well, I don't have a coach story. I haven't made any money yet. Well, I don't give a shit. There's 18,000 million other people who have. Use their story. Right? It's not about your story all the time. It's about finding a story and letting that story inspire people. Okay, I'm off my high horse now. I love you. It's time to move on to the next thing. Did we hammer this home with the stories? I'm telling you right now, guys, listen. Storytelling, it's a craft, and it needs to be learned, and it's simple to master, and it's simple to understand. All you got to do is nail this 20-second story and learn to gather testimonials and build an arsenal of testimonials and use those. I don't need a lot of testimonials. My Shakeology testimonial is my mom, right? I deal with old people, and they're like, yeah, but that's just for young people. Well, listen, I don't know. You know, I can see why you might think that, but my mom's 62 years old, and she was on cholesterol meds for 20 years, and I just had her start drinking Shakeology and doing 30 minutes a day with Power 90, and after 4 months, her doctor took her off the Lipitor. And she lost 40 pounds, and she started wearing makeup and heels again because she was feeling sexy at 62. So, I don't know. It worked for my mom. Maybe it'll work for you too. Why don't we give it a shot?
Can I say something, Tommy?
Yes.
My mother has struggled herself with her weight for her entire life. She's always been overweight, and with the 21-day fix, she actually dropped 14 pounds, which she has never been able to do ever.
Bam,
she dropped 14 pounds, and I mean, yeah, I know, and my mother is 62 years old as well.
Mm-hmm. So all those life sucks out there that are 36 and don't think they can do it. Use your mom's story. She's older and never was able to lose weight.
Yeah.
I want to know your mom's name. I'm going to use her story, and I'm going to recruit like 18,000 people.
Good. Yeah.
Seriously, that's a powerful story, right?
It works. Yeah, it works. And she's, I mean, it's been working for me. I've had a few people that have actually had those objections. I'm too old. I don't think I can do that. I'm like, my mom had hip replacement surgery, and she had a knee surgery. She's 62 years old. She's very overweight, and she lost 14 pounds in 21 days, and she's still continuing. And I think she's down like 17 now. So she's doing fantastic. Go mom. And she's a diabetic. And she's, you know, her cholesterol and her diabetes have dropped because of Shakeology. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a great story.
That's a great story.
Yes.
That all of you now have. Hey, all I know is Danielle Barrera's mom. That's all you got to, you know, hey, Danielle, this girl Danielle, her mom is 62. You guys just have, now you have a story to share. I have a story to share because Danielle openly shared the story, right? Be a good collector of stories. That's an awesome story. I love it. And it'll be getting used for sure, you know? So yeah, but stories are powerful, guys. I mean, just hearing Danielle's mom's stories makes me more excited about the 21-day fix and realize that I can help more people with it than even maybe what I gave credit to. Does that make sense? Her story inspired me to believe more in the product. Stories do that. Whether you share them with coaches, whether you share them with people, whether you share them with prospects, current challengers, use stories all the time to generate hope and inspiration and get people to believe and deepen their belief and deepen their faith and deepen their hope. And you will find that if you just get good at that, you're going to get a lot more people that come to you because they're going to be inspired. So with that said, okay, here's what we got to do. Story time is over. We need to shake that out. Shake it. Shake. Everybody, you're supposed to do this. Shake, 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 shake. We're erasing the training we just went through, and we're going to start a brand new training. Oh my gosh, I'm dizzy now. Jessica's hair is all wild looking. I love it. So, okay. Did you guys shake, or was I just the only fool looking like an epileptic on the call? We shook? Okay, good. Awesome. I love it. I'm such a dork. I know. So this topic, and I want to cover this, and it's going to take about 30 minutes or so, all right? It's called effective sponsoring. Effective sponsoring. So write that word down, effective sponsoring, being a good sponsor after enrollment. What do I do after enrollment? What is my role in leadership after enrollment? Whether it's the enrollment of a challenger or the enrollment of a coach. So far, you know, we focus so much on getting people and recruiting people and enrolling people, right? Let's go score points. Let's go score points. Let's go score points. Let's get a new coach. Blah, 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 blah. Let's get them, right? That we oftentimes lose sight of the most important thing that you can do, which is what you do with that person in the first 30 days after they enroll, okay? So write that down. 80% of this business is what you do with a brand new person in their first 30 days. Whether they're a new challenger in their first 30 days or whether they're a new coach in their first 30 days, that if you can nail down what to do in the first 30 days with these people and be a good leader after enrollment, you will find that you'll build a better business with people that don't leave you and then actually go do something. All right? So, because there's two ways to do it. And there's a lot of coaches out there, they go and they score a lot of points, but they don't, once the person signs up, they kind of forget about them and they don't, they put them in a page and they expect the page to take care of that person. And they expect the page to do the work, when the reality is what they really want is a little bit of one-on-one attention, right? And so let's talk about challengers first. And let me give you what my game plan is with a brand new challenger once I get them through the 5 steps and they've enrolled, okay? Because what you do with them is important. And I guarantee you that the majority of people out there, one of the reasons that my volumes typically tend to be so high is because I do a couple of things to increase my volumes, to retain more people, and to, there's a lot of weeks. I actually underscore my volumes with you guys because I don't want to make you feel bad. There's a lot of weeks where I have 2,000 to 3,000 volume in my business centers. And, and maybe I say that and I only report what I had in my second business center or my third business center because I don't want to make you guys feel like you can't keep up on the volume side. Does that make sense? Okay. But there's a reason why, and I'm going to share with you what I do with those people. Okay. To get them to stay and to upgrade and to get cross-introduced and buy more products that we offer. Right. One thing that I learned, when I did insurance was, there was a rule that I had with my clients in insurance. I knew this, that if I only sold them one policy, like their auto policy, they might stay 1 to 2 years, but eventually they would go somewhere else. Every time I added another policy, I had a greater likelihood to keep them long-term. So if I did home and auto, right, and I did both of their home and autos, they were more likely to stay with me because they had both of their policies there. If I did home, auto, and life insurance, man, I had a customer for 10 years plus at least. Does that make sense? Okay. And so so I took that philosophy and I apply that to Beachbody. So here's what I do with a brand new challenger. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to give you my step-by-step with a brand new challenger, and then we're going to talk about brand new coaches. All right. So, obviously, we talk about all you got to do is get challengers and learn to upgrade them to coaches. Okay. That's the first step. And we've taught you how to promote. We've talked about how to promote. We've taught you how to 5-step. We've showed you how to get people to the point where they sign up. But what you do after sign up matters greatly. Okay. So with a brand new challenger, how many of you remember the first time you ordered a Beachbody program, right? Whether you got it off the TV or you got a burnt set or you ordered it from a coach, right? You remember ordering your challenge pack, or you remember what it felt like when that challenge pack was in the mail. Like you got done ordering it and you were a little bit nervous and the program was in the mail and you knew it was going to come in a few days, but you didn't know what to expect, right? You had never done the homework. You knew it might be hard because it looked a little bit hard and you were a little bit nervous, right? And then the box showed up. I remember when I ordered my first set of P90X, it was like hope for my life in a box. Does that make sense? That's really what it was like. It was a big step for me. It was a huge step for me to even put my faith into a fitness program and tell myself I was going to start working out after 20 years of being lazy, right? And so our challengers, many of them come from a similar place where it's a big thing for them to say yes. They've made a big investment in saying yes, right? They've invested anywhere from $100 to $250, depending on what they got. For a lot of people, $100 to $250 is a crap load of money, right? To come up with, it really is. And so we don't want to devalue that. We want to be a great leader to them and a great friend to them after enrollment. And so here's what I do with my brand new customers. The first thing I do is I send them a message that says, hey, congratulations. I'm really excited that you decided to get started. Here are my top pointers on exactly what to do once your pack arrives. Okay? I want to set the expectation for what they can do. And I say, listen, here's my top pointers for what to do when your pack arrives. If you do these things, you'll have greater success. Number one, I want you to open the program, and I want you to read and study the fitness and nutrition guides. I want you to actually read through the book before you ever push play, okay? All I know is there's a lot of information in that book that can benefit you greatly in the long run. That's the first thing. I would also take the starting video. Many of our programs come with a starting video that show you how to get set up. I would watch that video and do exactly what it tells you to do. Here's the thing. I know if I can get them to study the nutrition guide, they're going to be asking me less nutrition questions, right? I'm pointing them to the resource, which is what I told you guys to do. But I'm doing that right up front, right? Then I say number two, you're also going to get your first 30 days of Shakeology. It's going to come with a recipe calendar. I want to encourage you to drink your Shakeology every single day. It's kind of like medicine. If you only take it once a week, it's not going to work very well. But if you drink it every day, you're going to feel better and have better results. In fact, I would start drinking it immediately and trying several different recipes to figure out which recipe you like the best. Personally, I love the chocolate with banana and peanut butter. Here's how I make it. I use 10 ounces of almond milk, 6 ice cubes, half a banana, 1 tablespoon of peanut butter, and I blend it. That's personally how I like mine. Not everybody likes it that way. Some people like, so I give them the rundown on Shakeology. And what I'm doing is this. We know this, that a lot of people might drink it 1 or 2 days, and if they don't like it in the first day or two, they stop drinking it. I'm buying time. I'm getting them to see. You might not like it the first time. Try it different ways. Here's how I like it. I give them a recipe. I don't care how you do it, but what's important is you drink it once a day. You find out how you like it. I would try different things, all that stuff. Does that make sense? I want to get them in the mindset that drinking Shakeology every single day is part of the gig. Right? And then I tell them, number 3, make sure to take your pictures and measurements. This is part of the program a lot of people skip, and the people who do it have better results. There's a reason why it's in the book. I strongly recommend that you do this and you do it consistently. Right? Number 4 is don't stress. You won't be perfect at first. It might take you a while to get the hang of it. Just keep going. And number 5 is participate in the group page. There's a reason why it's there, and the community of support that's around you, whether it's me or the team, is there to help you, right? So I want to get them in the team. So I give them those 5 things, and then I end it, and I just say, you know, I'm so excited for you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing your results when this is done, right? That's it. That's the first thing I do before they get the package, right? Then when the package ships, I copy the same message and send it again. So I've reminded them twice, right? They've read it twice. The package ships out. I check my online office every day. What package shipped out? I send them the message, right? Okay. And then here's what I do. After they receive it, I do a thank you gift, a welcome gift that I personally send to them. I don't care if they bought just a program. I don't care if they bought a challenge pack. Okay, the fact is this, that they spent money and I made money, and I'm going to take a portion of that money and I'm going to reinvest it in an effort to cross-introduce them to everything else that we have. I'm going to show them the rest of the story, but I'm going to do it as a thank you and a welcome, okay? So here's what I do. I send them a welcome gift that has 2 samples of E&E, 2 samples of recovery drink, and 2 protein bars. And maybe 1 packet of a different flavor of Shakeology than the one they got. Does that make sense? Okay? I send them a Success Club from Home magazine, and I send them a product guide, one of those product magazines, right? The booklets, the white booklets, okay? The total of that cost me $12. So I made $50. I'm going to reinvest $12. once I ship it, maybe 12 to 15 bucks shipped, right? So I'm going to reinvest a portion of my profits into my business, and I'm going to send that to them with a card, handwritten card that says, dude, I'm so excited that you got started. And here's a little welcome gift for you that just shares with you a few of my favorite products that Beachbody offers that I use every single day. I'm taking this out of my personal stash just for you. Okay. I'm excited to work with you. I'm grateful that you trust me enough to coach you through this. And I'm looking forward to you kicking some ass, whatever that is, whatever that message is. And I send that to them. Okay. So here's the thing. Let's say it cost me 15 bucks. They order 1 jug of recovery drink. I just made my money back. Does that make sense? If they are ordering more than one product, they're less likely to disappear. That's the truth too, right? The samples that I order them under my second account because it pays my wife and I both the volume of that, so it's even cheaper for me. Does that make sense? Because I'm making money on the volume. So you could order it under your husband's account and get paid on the volume of it, right? So I get samples. Listen, I get a box of E&E samples. I get a box of recovery samples. I get a box of protein bars every single month. And I use those for my new challengers. And every now and then I eat a bar, right? So, but that's what I do with new challengers. And then the third thing I do, so far we've got the reminders up front, right? The 5 specific things that they can do to get the best results. And then I have the thank you gift. And then the third thing that I do is a weekly check-in, just a personal check-in, especially the first 4 to 6 weeks. There's 2 reasons I want to do that. One, when I send them a text message or a Facebook message, hey man, just checking in on you, seeing how you're going this week. How's your first week going? How's your second week going? Right? That there's value to personal relationship. But 2, it also gives me the opportunity to either groom them to get back on track with fitness or to upgrade them to a coach. Does that make sense? So now when I do the upgrade to coach check-ins in week 5, I've already checked in with them 4 or 5 times. So it's not like I'm asking them to be a coach the first time I check in with them. See what I'm saying? Because I make it part of what I do. So I do it every week. Now in week 5 or 6, when I suggest being a coach, it's not like, oh, Tommy just reached out to me because he wants me to be a coach. I've been reaching out to them. I've built a trusted relationship with them week after week after week. I've had a 5-10 minute text session with them once a week, right? Thursdays are my check-in day. I do it that way for a reason because I won't forget because I do it every Thursday. It just becomes habit. So that's part of my schedule. And I check in with my hot list. My hot list are the people I've enrolled the last 2 months, right? The people I've enrolled the last 2 months. And if I don't have coaching in front of them within 2 months, then I'm not doing my job. That's how I look at it, right? Or they've just been falling off, and they've never got to the point where coaching should be in front of them, all right? So, but can you see how that grows volume? Think of this. Let's say that you do the thank you gifts and you teach your coaches to do the thank you gifts. And your coaches it all creates volume, right? Better customer retention, more volume with samples, all of that creates volume in the long run, right? So those are things that I do in order to build a better relationship, get trust with the person, and stay connected to them and cross-introduce them and have a greater chance of them becoming more than someone who just bought a program or a pack. Okay? Danielle, thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's a great idea. I don't do that, and I'm going to start doing that. I think it's a fantastic idea. I love the check-in, but I have a question. When do you stop? I mean, not necessarily stop, but when are you kind of laying off on the checking in part with people?
So I try to keep, like a hot list, you know what I mean? Like, there's some people that they don't engage, you know what I mean?
Right.
And, so I'm just, and then I'm just continuously filtering through that list. I don't really have a specific cutoff date, like, okay, after 2 months, I'm done checking in on you, I'm just building that relationship. But I get to the point after a couple months, hey, I'm not going to be checking in on you every week. I'm here if you need me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? My job, I look at it like this. I'm there to really help get them through the first 4 to 6 weeks. I know if I can get them through the first 4 to 6 weeks, even if they don't upgrade to coach, they're going to be on their way with the program. I've done my job, right? it's like raising your kid and they turn 18 and there's a point where they want some independence and all that. So I don't have to babysit them after the first 4 to 6 weeks. But I am looking to get coaching in front of them. And so then I might stay in touch with them if they've expressed interest in coaching. Does that make sense? Or let's say that I have another group coming up or a new product comes out. I might have them on a list for someone. Hey, I don't know if you're still doing your T25 or not, but hey, P90X3 is coming out. I'm going to be starting that. Do you want to do that with me? So I might cross introduce them to a new program when that comes out. Does that make sense? So, okay. And here I am sitting on the floor underneath my coffee table. I love working here. Changing lives from under a coffee table is good stuff. All right. So that's what I do with new challengers, new customers. Okay. I would strongly suggest that at minimum you do the first 5 things. And what I'll do is I'll write that post out and I'll share. I always do it from my head. I need to have that scripted out and put in a document and shared with you guys so that you guys can take it, revamp it, whatever you want. But I know if they do those things, they're going to have a better chance of success. So I'm doing that sincerely, trying to help them because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to expect. And I know where commonly people skip out on, and when they skip out on certain things, they're more likely to fail.
I love that you resend. That's a great idea. That's an excellent idea because now they see it twice.
I send it right when they enroll, and then I send it when it ships.
Love it.
Right?
Yes.
And then when they get it, I just tell them, hey, remember to do those 5 things I told you. So they're getting reminded 3 times before they even friggin' put the DVD in. Right? So let's talk about new coaches. Okay? How many of you agree? Here's the thing, guys. You do so much work to get somebody to the point of enrollment. That's not the time when you want to fumble the ball. You don't want to drive all the way down the field and get to the 1-yard line and turn the ball over and come away with no points. Does that make sense? That sucks. You don't want to do it. So why would you get somebody to enrollment and then drop the ball after they enroll? It doesn't make any sense, right? The people that enroll, that's who you really want to take care of. The better you get at taking care of those people, the more chance you are of succeeding long-term with them. So with a brand new coach, here's what's important. The first 48 hours and their first 30 days, okay? So there's kind of two things. So when they enroll, and I'm going to actually role play this real quick. When someone enrolls, I do two things immediately with them. The first thing I do is I give them a short homework assignment to watch 2 videos in the Coach Training Academy and to print off their 7-day quick start. Okay? I don't want to give them too much information. I don't want to give them too much homework. I don't want to overwhelm them. I also don't want them to just go in the coach office and start clicking around and go, holy shit, there's a lot to learn. I want to protect them from that and give them a very specific thing that takes about 15 minutes to do. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to do is schedule the quick start call or the quick start meeting. I either Zoom with them or I call them. And we're going to cover that quick start worksheet. Okay? Both of those things need to be done within 48 hours of enrollment. You got a ticking clock. Where we drop the ball is we let it go 2 weeks. Oh my gosh, I haven't followed up with my new coach. It's been 2 weeks. Right? For 2 weeks, they've been doing nothing. When they first sign up, that's when they're the most nervous. That's also when they're the most excited. That's why they signed up, right? So that's the time to do it. So let's say that Jessica, hi Jessica.
Hello.
Let's say that Jessica is my new coach, okay? And Jessica, let's say she's a girl from my hometown. She saw me on Facebook. She asked me about the 21-day fix or whatever, right? And she did it and she loved it. And I upgraded her to coach during her second round of 21-day fix. Okay, because she already had friends asking her about it and all that stuff. All right. So Jessica, we're going to start at the point where I just complete the enrollment with you on the phone. And then I'm going to show you how I schedule the homework assignment and the quick start call immediately with her when she enrolls. So Jessica, when you're done enrolling, there's going to be a screen that says, congratulations, you're now a Beachbody coach. Why don't you tell me when you get to that screen?
Okay, I'm there.
You're there? You see it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how exciting is that? How do you feel right now?
I feel great.
Awesome. I love it, man. Well, I feel great too, and I think that you're going to be a great coach. So listen, here's what's important. We got a couple of very simple things to do in the next 48 hours.
Okay.
And I'm going to, and so it's not a lot of stuff, but it's enough to just get you started the right way. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to have you do takes about 15 minutes, and I'm going to have you watch a couple of simple videos that kind of get you started. When do you think you'll have 15 minutes to watch those videos? Could you do that right now?
Yeah, I could do it now.
Okay, awesome. So here's where you're going to go. You're going to go to the Coach Online office, and I would actually send her a message telling her where to go. So what I would do is say, hey, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a message that tells you exactly where to go in your Coach Online office to watch those videos. Can I just send you that message to your Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going to do that. And in the message, I'm going to tell you to, I'm just role playing this. I'm going to tell you to go to the Coach Online office. Listen, there's going to be a lot of information in that Coach Online office. I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So what's important is that you do only exactly what I tell you to do. I'm trying to protect you from doing too much work here, okay? In the Coach Online office, under news and training, there's something called the Coach Training Academy. And that houses all of the videos that train people on how to be a coach. But there's a couple of videos specifically and a worksheet that I want you to get. And you're going to watch these two videos. The first video is how to earn money now. Okay?
Okay.
All right. And the second video is something called Success Club, which you're going to be learning about when we do our quick start. Okay? Both of those videos are like 5 or 6 minutes long. The third thing is there's a worksheet called the 7-Day Quick Start. It's a PDF. I need you to either print that or save it. Do you have a printer at home?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Can you print that out?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's the worksheet that you and I are going to be covering on the quick start call. So I need you to do those two videos, print off that worksheet, and you said you're going to be doing that like right now, right?
Yeah, I can watch the videos now. I'll probably...
Okay, well, it's 10 o'clock at night, and quite honestly, after I get off the phone with you, I'm going to be done working. I need to go spend time with my wife. So are you going to be available tomorrow to do that call? Is tomorrow night okay?
Yeah, I'll be available after 4.
After 4 o'clock. So you work until 4 o'clock every day?
Not every day. My schedule's different every day.
Okay, but tomorrow specifically after 4 o'clock is good. Well, listen, I'm busy from 4 till about 8. How is 8:30 for you?
That works. 8:30 is good.
So go ahead and watch those videos, and then you and I will get on the phone tomorrow night at 8:30, and we'll go through the quick start together and make sure we have your game plan in place, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Well, hey, I'm excited that you decided to join the team. I'm looking forward to working with you.
Thanks.
Cool. Awesome. And I'll be sending you that Facebook message right now.
Okay.
Great. Click. Send her the Facebook. Yes, Danielle.
I have a question. Do you always do your quick start calls or meetings with just you and your new coach, or do you do them as a group if there's several coaches? I'm struggling with that myself a little bit. I think I want to get my coach started the way I want to get my coach started. And I'm not trying to not be a team player, but I just think that that's important. And so that's why I asked if you do it as Swarm. Does Swarm do any weekly?
I used to. There was a time about 3 years ago when I did the Get Started Right calls, back when they were Get Started Rights. And I did a weekly Get Started Right call and had the new coaches call in to the number. What I found is, man, there's so much value to spending that 45 minutes with your brand new person. You know how, like, when you have, how many kids do you have, Danielle?
How many kids?
Yeah.
2.
You have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Can you always just spend time with both of them, or is there times when you need one-on-one with each of them?
Absolutely. Yeah, one-on-one. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's the same with our coaches. You know what I mean?
I agree, because I don't think that they're getting in a big group setting. They're not getting that individual attention and that, woo, check this out. This is what you're going to be doing. You come on to such a great team, and that real exciting time. And I agree with that. I'm gonna.
Well, so all I'm gonna do is demonstrate to you how I quick start somebody.
Okay.
Versus, I don't know what you've been doing or participating in. So you guys don't know. So you guys know this. I don't micromanage my leaders. Right? I trust them. They're building their groups. They're doing, you know what I'm saying? And I don't micromanage them. They don't do everything exactly like I do it. Right? but my door's always open, and I can understand why someone might want to do a group quick start versus a one-on-one. That's choices that you got to make. But I'm going to role play now what I do one-on-one during the quick start, and you might see why I find value in doing it one-on-one when I do it this way. Okay. So let's say that Jessica and I are going to, and I'm just going to role play the basic important things in the quick start. It's going to take maybe about 10 to 15 minutes for me to do this. All right. But I think it's that important that you guys learn how to do this. So Jessica, I'm going to quick start you now. Okay. So ring, ring.
Hello.
Jessica, how you doing? It's Tommy. What's going on?
Hey, Tommy. Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I know it's 8:30, and I know that you said you would have 45 minutes to an hour right now. Is it still a good time?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So how was your day, man? How'd everything go today for you?
It was good. Busy day, but it goes
Good.
okay.
How you feeling about becoming a coach and the coach thing?
Excited and nervous.
Okay.
Don't really know what I'm doing yet.
Why are you excited?
I'm excited to help people. I'm excited to share my story.
Okay. And so what makes you nervous?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, well, that's why we're on the call
I don't know how
today.
to do it
Right?
yet.
It's just that, listen, I don't expect that you're not going to know everything right up front, and I expect you to be nervous about that, but that's exactly why you chose me to enroll you and be your mentor in this. And so that's why we're on the call today, is to kind of get a simple game plan and a simple understanding of what to do so that you're not doing this blindly. Sound good?
Good.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So do you have that worksheet?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Why don't you pull it out, grab a pen. Okay, you got that?
Yep.
Okay, good. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go through this worksheet, and listen, if you have questions along the way, feel free to stop me. This is me and you just spending 30 to 45 minutes of time together to make sure that you're on point and that you understand what you're doing and what I'm doing and how we're going to do this the first month. All right? Okay, great. So listen, the first thing is on the top left of this page. Listen, just like you said, you're not going to know everything right now, and you're going to have a lot of questions. I promise you that. Okay, you're in the process of learning. And so as you have questions, it's important for you to know where you can go to find answers. The first thing is the company. So you have 3 resources available to you. The first resource is the company. Okay, the company's 800 number is right here for Coach Relations. It also has their Facebook page and their all that stuff that you can add to your Facebook. All right. Coach Relations is open 24/7. So even when I'm sleeping and not available, they are. Okay. The second thing is the team. Now listen, we have a super awesome, amazing team, and there's a lot of people just like you who were nervous when they first started, but now they've been doing it for 6 months to 5 years, depending on who it is. And everybody has learned the same stuff that you're going to be learning as a coach, and they all do the same stuff. And so they're going to be able to answer your questions just as good as me, if not better, and they're going to be able to do it faster than I could alone. All right. I only have 24 hours in a day, and I have a family. There's no way that I could be available 24/7 to answer your questions. And quite honestly, I don't want to disappoint you. And so if you send me your questions, it may not get answered right away, and you may find yourself waiting, and I don't want to let you down like that. And so what I want you to know is this: the team can be there faster and better than me. So anytime you have a question, I want you to trust the team as much, if not more, than you trust me. And I want you to go to them first so you don't have to wait. Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you go to the team and you go to the company and you still don't know what you're doing, at that point then go ahead and reach out to me. And I'll be more than happy to give you some guidance. Okay?
Okay.
I'm outsourcing. But in a way where, how do you feel about that setup when I said that? Do you feel like I'm an asshole that's not there for you?
No, you're offering even more help.
I'm actually showing you a better way so I don't disappoint you, right? It's not about me not wanting to be there. It's about me not wanting to disappoint you.
Right.
And how you can get something better than coming to me alone. All right. So awesome. So that's the first thing. The second thing on the right side is this stuff called the 3 vital behaviors. You see that? Okay. Well, Jessica, tell me about your work. What do you do for work?
I'm a nurse.
You're a nurse. Okay, that's right. I know that you told me that the other day. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Okay.
So Jessica, I assume that as a nurse, there's like certain protocol that you follow, right? And you know that there's certain do's and don'ts to becoming a good nurse, right? Would you say that?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's the same with coaching. And the 3 do's that we have are called these 3 vital behaviors. All right. So as long as you learn to do these things, then you're going to have a lot more success. All right. And so we've simplified it down to 3 things. The first thing, you're already crushing. You've already finished the 21-day fix. You already lost 12 pounds. You already went and bought your new bikini for the summer. So you're already doing the product of the product stuff, right? And you're still working out.
Yeah.
Okay. You're still drinking your shakes.
Every day.
Okay. And your plan right now is just to stay with the 21-day fix. You're not going to jump to T25 or something like that.
I actually started adding in some turbo fire.
Okay, so you're kind of mixing it up. All right. But at the end of the day, you're using Beachbody programs. You're loving them. That's what's important. Okay. And if and when you ever feel like you're falling off track with that, I don't want you to hesitate to reach out to me and the team and just ask for some help, because that can happen, and it does happen. It's happened to me before. So anytime you're struggling with product of the product, if that happens, just know that nobody's going to judge you for that, and we're going to be here to help you. All right. The second thing is inviting. So Jessica, remember how when I was putting together that 21-day fix challenge group, and I knew you from local, and so I sent you that Facebook message and asked you if it was something you might want to do, and I invited you to join?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you said yes, and we got you started, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's what you're going to do. You're just going to invite people to join a challenge group and get started on their own fitness and weight loss journey. It's no different than what I did with you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's that simple. The next thing is personal development. Jessica, when you became a nurse, how long did it take you to learn to be a nurse?
2 years.
2 years. So 2 years of school
2 years of school.
for you to learn to become a nurse. And then even when you became a nurse and you got your degree and you went and you got your first job, were you a great nurse on day one, or did it take you some time to become a good nurse?
It takes time. I'm still learning new things every day.
And how long have you been doing it?
4 years.
So 4 years later, you're still learning some things as a nurse, right? So listen, it's the same with coaching. Have you ever built a home-based business before?
Never.
Have you ever been a Beachbody coach before?
Never.
Have you ever built a team of coaches before?
Nope.
No. So listen, don't expect that you're going to know everything right off the bat. There's going to be some learning involved, okay? And that really is what personal development's about. It's like school for coaches, okay? Just like you went to school for being a nurse. In fact, so what we do is we start you, we're going to put you in a program called Coach Basics, which is going to be your start to learning how to become a better coach. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Okay, that's going to take about 10 minutes a day. It's starting in 3 weeks, so you're not going to get into that right now, but it's going to start at the beginning of June. I'll make sure to remind you when that's coming around, but that's going to be your introduction to personal development when that comes up. Awesome. So listen, let's go ahead and get down to some of the goals and get down to your game plan of what you're going to do next, okay? So listen, the first thing it talks about down here is breaking even. Let me ask you a question. So you got what challenge package did you buy when you enrolled?
21-day fix.
Okay, so you spent $160. You got the 21-day fix. Let me ask you a question. How quickly would you like to earn back that $160?
No.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to wait 3 months to earn it? I mean, because I can go as fast or as slow as you want to. You're going to set the pace by what you tell me. So you would like to earn that money now. Like, how quick is now? In the first week?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'd like to earn the money back by the end of this week.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let me show you specifically how you can earn your money back. Remember that how to earn money now video that I had you watch? And in that video, it explained that you get paid for every challenge pack you enroll.
Right.
Okay, well, listen, if you get 3 people to enroll on that same 21-day fixed challenge pack, you're going to earn enough money to pay for your pack. So depending on how quickly you can find those 3 people will determine how quickly you earn your money back and break even on your purchase. Does that sound good? Do you think you could find those 3 people within the first week?
I can definitely try.
Okay. Well, listen, I mean, if you need 2 weeks, that's okay too. What would you prefer, to find them in the first week or the first 2 weeks?
I'd love to find them in the first 2 weeks.
Okay, first 2 weeks. All right, so no, which is perfectly fine. The reason I'm asking you that is because I'm going to set your start date for your first challenge group according to what you tell me. Okay, so we've got 2 weeks to find those first 3 or 4 people, which means that your first challenge group is going to start 3 weeks from now. That gives us 2 weeks to find those people and get them enrolled so they have their stuff in time to start 3 Mondays from now. So that Monday, when I look at the calendar, is June 2nd, which is the first Monday of June, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Your first challenge group is going to start on June 2nd. Sound good?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So June 2nd, that's your start date. Here's what we're going to do. You've already got a list of people that you've been talking to or that have asked you about this stuff, right?
Right.
Okay, so we're going to do two things to find those 3 to 4 people. The first thing we're going to do is have you invite those people one-on-one that you've already talked to. Down here is a place for you to make a list of those. The second thing we're going to do is openly promote your challenge group on your Facebook. Now listen, I don't want you to stress out about what to say or how to say it, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and give you the invitation that you can send out to people. I'm also going to give you the promotion that you can put on your Facebook. All right? Okay, now listen, when you get a prospect that replies and shows interest, what's important is that you reach out to me and let me know, and I will show you exactly what to do with that person. Okay? A lot of coaches will try to do it on their own, and because they don't know what they're doing, they'll screw it up. And I think that we would both agree that you don't want to screw it up with your new person, right?
Right.
So listen, until we get you trained and until you learn, whenever you have somebody interested, I want you to come to me directly, and I will help you with what to do with them. Okay? Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is this. There's a way for you to qualify for free customers from the company. And I don't know if that's something you're interested in or not. But if you are, then I need to cover a couple more things with you. Are you interested in getting free customers from the company, or is that something you're not really worried about?
And what does free customers mean?
Okay, well, the company, if you can qualify, so the company spends $150 million a year on advertising, and as they recruit customers, they give those customers to coaches like you and me. If we do a couple of certain things, we get free customers, and we can earn money from those people too.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So that sounds like something you'd want to qualify for?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Well, let's go back up here. And I'm going to show you how you can qualify for those. The first way for you to qualify for free customers is to earn your first promotion. Do you remember how I sponsored you as a coach?
Mm-hmm.
Which we just did, right? So listen, once you find your first 2 coaches to enroll that you personally sponsor, you can get your first promotion to Emerald. Once you do that, as long as you do that before the end of this calendar month, then you'll get free customers next month. So if we can make that happen before May 30th, then you would get free customers in June. Okay? Does that sound like something that you can make happen before the end of this month or not?
Well, how do I get them interested before they really see the benefits?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things that we can do. Do you know anybody? So let me just ask you some questions, and maybe we can rattle some names loose of people that might be interested in it. Okay. Do you know anybody that's already done some Beachbody programs, already done Insanity or P90X?
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you know that's already done that?
My friend Joe did T25, and he lost like 30 pounds with it.
Okay, cool. So Joe might be somebody that wants to hear about coaching, right? Joe,
Okay.
do you think Joe knows about being a coach yet, or has he not heard about it?
I don't think he was really working with a coach. I think he just did the program on his own.
Okay, cool. So Joe's somebody that we could talk to, and I'd be more than happy to talk to Joe with you to see if being a coach on your team is something he's interested in. All right. Do you know anybody that's already passionate about fitness or already lost weight, whether it's with Beachbody or not?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a list of those people, and those are going to become your coach prospects, and I will help you approach them. All right. And I'll teach you how to do that. Okay. So here's the thing. If we can get you to find your first 3 people and get to Emerald, you're automatically going to make this third category called Success Club. Remember that Success Club video I had you watch?
Yeah.
That explained how you can make Success Club and get free Shakeology customers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you get 3 challenge packs and 2 coaches, you're automatically going to be in Success Club for the month. So I would just focus on making the first 2 things happen, and the third is going to happen. And if we can make all that happen within the next 17 days, you're going to be set for June.
Awesome.
Does that sound good? Okay.
That's great.
So June 2nd is your start date. I'm going to go ahead and send you the invitation. I'm going to send you the Facebook promotion that you're going to use. When do you think you're going to post that on your Facebook? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I would suggest that you post it at a couple of different times. Maybe post it in the morning one day, and then the next day maybe in the afternoon, and then on the third day post it at night.
Okay.
So we're going to have you post it more than once because not everybody's going to see it just one time. All right. So if you post it the first time and you don't get any interaction, don't worry about it. Okay. It's no big deal. Quite honestly, right now you're practicing. Okay. Until we can get you fully up to speed. I'm going to be here to help you with your prospects. Any other questions that you have, I want you to go to the team first. If it's just about finding something or not being quite sure about something. All right.
Okay.
But when it comes to somebody that's actually interested, you got somebody on the hook, I want you to come to me and I will help you walk them through that.
Sounds good.
So let's go work on getting your first 2 or 3 people and getting you breaking even and getting you moving in the right direction.
All right.
Awesome. Great. I'll be sending you those Facebook messages now and we'll be in touch. And I might be in touch with you a lot during this first month.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay?
Thanks so
Great.
much.
Awesome. Jessica, do you have any questions before we hang up?
No.
No? You're pretty clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Awesome. That's it. Click. So Danielle, what are you smiling about?
I like it. I mean, I absolutely, that's why I watch so many of your training videos on YouTube. And that's why I tell all my coaches to watch them because I love your style. And I just like it. I like it. It's natural. And I like what you do. And I like how you're making that coach feel important, but you're not all over them. You're just giving them a little bit. And
Well, so here's the thing, man. I can either crack the whip on them to go make this happen because that's what I want them to do and what I'm telling them to do, or I can ask them if they want to break even and how quick, and then just show them the way to do that. Or I can ask them if they want free customers. Most people are not going to say no to those 2 things. So by asking them, they're giving me permission to tell them what to do in order to get what they want. That's a big difference between, listen, if you go through the quick start sheet, okay, let me do it this way. Let me do it the other way, where I don't ask, okay? And I say, hey, listen, so here's what we need you to do. We need you to go find your first 3 people and get to Emerald. That way you can start getting free customers and making money. Okay, so what I want you to do is you're just gonna go find those 3 people, and once you enroll them, let me know, and I'll show you what page to put them in. Right? You see what I'm saying? I didn't ask her. She, I mean, it's like this, once I get, questions are the answers. That's why Go for No is a great book. Keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. I'm going to ask her, hey, do you want to break even? How fast do you want to break even? Most people say, well, as fast as possible. So that gives me permission to crack the whip on them and say, well, let's get your first 3 people by the end of this week. Versus I need you to find 3 people. By when? Why? Right? A lot of times we'll tell people what to do, but we don't give them the date to do it by. And we don't have any kind of agreement between the 2 of us of whether or not they want to do it to begin with. So when I ask them the question, how quickly would you like to break even? When they give me the time frame, I give them the answer on how to make it happen. When I ask them the question, would you like to qualify for free customers or not? 9 out of 10 of them are going to say, well, yeah, I can get free customers. How do I do that? Now, when I crack the whip on them to get to Emerald by the end of the month, they're not doing it for me. They're doing it for them so they can get their free customers that they said they wanted. There's a big difference in how I'm leading them, right? You guys understand that? Does it make sense? Okay? But the important thing is this. Videos and phone call within the first 48 hours. Set the start date. Okay? Give them their step 1 invite. Give them their Facebook promotion. They don't know how to promote yet. You guys do. They don't know how to invite people. You guys do. You're trained in that now. You're more skilled than them now. They don't know how to 5-step people. Listen, their people or your business. Their people or your future team. Who do you want recruiting your future business? The new person that has no skills and hasn't been trained at all, or you, who has been trained and has recruited some people already? Who do you want to control your business? So until they are trained, now here's the thing, when they bring me the person, they bring me the prospect, okay? I'm going to teach them how to edify me and either get me on a 3-way call or get me in a 3-way message on Facebook, and I'm going to 5-step the person. I'm either going to do that by a 3-way message where I 5-step them on their behalf, and I tell them what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. So I'm field training them on how to 5-step. And we got a greater likelihood of them recruiting the person. Does that make sense? Or the second way is I'm just going to tell her what to do. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask them these questions one by one. I want you to say this. I want you to say this. I want you to say this. Okay? And I will put my words into her mouth and have her translate them to the person. The best way is just to do it by a 3-way. Okay? So I will have them start a Facebook. And listen, here's what I need you to do. I need you to put me and your prospect into a message on Facebook, and I need you to introduce me to the prospect. Here's what I want you to say in that introduction, and I will tell them what to say. And I will write it out, and I will say, you know, hey, Susie, I'm going to introduce you to Tommy. I'm brand new at being a coach, and this is the guy mentoring me. He's the guy that helped me get started. I trust him greatly, and so I've asked him to help you so that I don't screw it up. Truth, right? They edify me. Hey, awesome. I'm so glad that you're friends with Jessica. She's been great so far, and I'm really excited about her. And she's told me some good things about you. So what makes you interested in this 21-day fix? And I start 5-stepping it. Right? Now I'm recruiting their person. Who's a better recruiter? Who's a better closer, me or the new person? I want to close their people. They get paid. They learn the 5 steps. They don't feel alone. I know that they're moving in the right direction, and I know they're learning along the way, all right? It's worth the time. This is why I'd rather get two or 3 coaches a month that are good than 10 coaches who aren't. I'd rather sponsor 2 coaches the right way and get them finding success than to sponsor 10 and leave them all hanging and on their own. Okay? So that's just me. But what you do with a brand new person the first 30 days matters. Okay? And I know it's getting late. Any questions, comments on what we covered tonight? Because we've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes now. And I know that you guys have sleep to get and books to read and husbands to kiss and all that kind of stuff. So any questions, comments? Did you find this helpful or not? Helpful? Good?
Very helpful. Yes, very helpful.
Good. I love you guys. Listen, I'm going to be gone next week.
Danielle's got it.
I love it.
I got it. I got it. I got this. I got
Danielle's
this.
going to be covering you guys next week on the meeting. Okay. She's great. Many of you guys already know her, but I love Danielle, man. I know that she has a good heart and she's a good leader. So I trust her absolutely with you guys. So next week she'll lead it. 2 weeks from now, I want you to do those 20-second stories. You're going to post those to the team. Okay. And then 2 weeks from now, you guys are going to share your 20-second story with the group on the call. And then I'm going to give you some pointers on going forward after ramp, life after ramp. Okay. Because that's going to be important too. So guys, I love you. I'll see you in the ramp page. I will talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thanks,
Peace out.
Tommy.
Peace out.
Bye, Tommy.
See ya.
Thanks.